Xbox, what have you done, bro? So if you don't know, if you haven't watched my last video, I dropped the video Xbox has a DRM problem, responding to uh Vintage Gamers video about the DRM issue on the Xbox, and that was before it got big. But now I'm talking about it's all over the internet. People chiming in. They got all these. I'm talking about random ass technique. I ain't even heard of them even talk about the Xbox platform at all. And now they're like, oh fuck, this DRM shit is bad. But you gotta look at this and look at this as from the perspective of an older gamer, because vintage gamer probably an older gamer. And if you go watch this video, y'all definitely should watch this video. It's not a bad video. It's just like, come on now, bro. Like the way he put things made it sound like they were like it's some devious going on over there, and it's not. It's not. It's all a misunderstanding in the light of things. But DRM gets slammed on it, instantly a bad thing. DRM is bad. We know DRM is bad, but this is different. But the media got a hold of it now. It's DRM. Xbox is getting killed online, and rightfully so. People can't play their games offline, even though you can. But there's stipulations, and stipulations that people don't like those. People like they shit right now. PlayStation 4 can play on PlayStation 5, hardware based, easy. That software shit, DRM. That's exactly what it's saying out here. And I'm thinking like hardware based, right? I mean, it makes sense. Sony slapped a switch in there for PlayStation 4 games to run like a PlayStation 4 on a PlayStation 5. They built that into the system, but that's why they don't have software from PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, because that will require a whole lot of time, money, and energy that they didn't want to spend. Microsoft spent that money, spent that time and energy years ago to build what we have in the software space because the hardware wasn't built to support this. And it's still not built to support this. That's why people spelling DRM. But it makes sense. When people download their games or just install a disc, they can't play it on the latest hardware because it's not compatible. Because the internet says it's not compatible. This is where this comes in at. And it's crazy how all this outrage is going on now. I mean, it should be though. Like this should be brought to light. It's not going to change because Xbox can't change it now. So people are like, oh, they need to get this changed. They need to uprise. Like you can't uprise this. It's not built into the hardware to work like that. It's software based. Xbox built this whole web of cloud gaming. Everything is put up there to be spread across all these devices. They can't change it now. They too deep in, and it's working perfectly. For people like Vintage who thinks 20 years in the future and 30 years in the past at the same time, like you have to see times have changed. But the thing is, if you watch this video, he said something like he can go back 25 years and slap a game in his hardware and just play it. He don't know how the Xbox is going to be in 25 years ahead. And I'm like, it's going to work the same way. Based off all your evidence, it's going to work the same way. It's not like you can go slap a NES cartridge into a Nintendo 64 and play an NES game. It don't work like that. You bought a Super Nintendo to play Super Nintendo games. You bought a Nintendo 64 to play Nintendo 64 games. But Xbox changed the market. It gave people this new sense of entitlement that they never had before. And now it's kind of ripped away with this DRM situation. And it's killing niggas because they don't want it to go away now that they got it. And it's scary for them because they remember the old way. You bought a console, you played that console until the new one came out, and then you were done. It wasn't no coming back. So based off his evidence and based off what everybody's saying, everybody's mad that backwards compatible games don't run offline without a ping. You ping into the system, they learn all the games that you own, and when you go offline, the system remembers those games and you can play all of them offline. That's exactly how the home Xbox thing works. It reads all of your games, your whole catalog. It learns you, this is what you own, and when you go offline, that list doesn't change until you update that list. We know. We already knew when we signed into the platform. New people don't know. They coming in, they don't know. They gonna see MVG's video and they gonna outrage. They gonna go crazy. They gonna wave the flag, bro. It's war, and it's understandable. It's definitely understandable, and I can see where they coming from. But then you got to think back. The Xbox Series X is running 4 generations of games. What other console is doing that? That's not easy. They require one thing, an internet ping every now and again. And that's just one to update your list of games that you're going to play offline. That's what it does. Like if they knew the games that you already had before you went offline, they play. But if you wanna treat this like a DRM thing, it doesn't have DRM unless you're playing backwards compatible games. Because he said it, the native Xbox One games that he checked, he put the disc in and it ran the base version of the game offline. No problem. Installed off the disc, it played it. That's exactly what a Nintendo would do in the past. That's exactly what an original Xbox would do in the past. That's exactly what a 360 would do in the past. So if you wanted to play 360 games, you would own a 360, right? Yeah. If you wanted to play PlayStation 3 games, you would own a PlayStation 3, right? Yeah. But now that you can own an Xbox Series X and have an Xbox original, Xbox 360, and an Xbox One in all the same place, people got that power and went crazy. That luxury just created a mass of people that don't want to lose that now. And MVG got them scared because it can be lost. It's the thing. It can be taken away, and all that power can be taken away from the player with the flip of a switch. And people are losing their shit. Rightfully so. But you can always pop your 360 disc into your 360. But most people sold those to buy Xbox One because that's usually how people go. But, you know, for people that collect old consoles, if you want to play an Xbox One game, why not put it in your Xbox One? Oh, you want the benefits of the Xbox Series X and the updates to make the game run better. So you play it on there. It makes sense. But, oh, you need an internet connection for that. Oh, you don't like that. Then why try to play it on the new hardware then? Like, these are questions that people not asking themselves when they hear this. Like, if you wanted to play your old games, you could always play them on your old hardware. Oh, you didn't keep that. So did you really want to preserve games then? These are questions that I ask. Like, like it's crazy. And y'all can answer these down below. Y'all can come at me. I want to hear. Because I want to understand how people think about this. You say it's an issue for game preservation, but all the people preserving games have all their games lined up. Have all their consoles lined up. If they want to slap a fucking Sega game into a Sega Genesis and play it, they can. In 25 years, if you want to load up your Xbox Series X and play an Xbox Series X game, you can. It's nothing against that, but oh, you want to use the Xbox Series X to play an original Xbox game, and that's a problem. Now it's a DRM problem. This is crazy. Xbox gave everybody that entitlement, that notion that all my games should work on my Xbox Series X no matter what. That console would be expensive as fuck. That's why Sony didn't do it. It costs quite a bit to get the PlayStation 4 working on there. And not every game works on there. You can't just slap any PlayStation 4 disc in there. They gave you a list. Because they know that's some hard work to get that working. But they wanted to give y'all something because games are hard to come by now. The pandemic is having everything pushed back. But Microsoft gave us all this power, bro. And now it's coming back to bite them. There's community outrage now. It's crazy. I ain't never seen so many random people upset about something that isn't even real. I mean, it is to a certain extent, but the Xbox Series X was built to play Xbox Series X games, and it does that correctly. Everything else is just luxury because that's how console generations worked. But now, since that luxury has been ingrained in us for a while now, since the whole Xbox One generation, Xbox Series X is added. That's generation 4 of gaming in one console, and it's amazing. And it's it's scary to have something so powerful because once you have it, you never want to let it go. So let me think about that. I'm gonna let y'all think about that. We all can think about this together. We can talk about it down below in the comment section, bro, because I want to understand, where did this come from? Like, where did this entitlement come from? Ain't nobody forcing Nintendo to make Nintendo 64 games work on the Switch. They made some of them work because they can make the money off of it. They sold it to you. But when Microsoft wanted people to stop buying the same games over again, because they would have loved to cancel that preservation shit and pull what Sony did this generation. Remake Demon Souls. Sell it to them again. Y'all probably bought it on PlayStation 3. They probably could have worked hard to get out of PlayStation 3 version. No, remake it. Sell it to them. Crash. Remake it. Sell it to them. Spyro. Remake it. Sell it to them. The Last of Us. Remake it. Sell it to them. Twice. Microsoft wanted to end that. And it's coming back to bite them hard. For network ping. Damn. That's some real shit. But yeah, I'm gonna end it on that. So thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna go play more games. Microsoft has a lot of them preserved.